Graybeard Gaming. Welcome to or back to the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Scott, and Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I have with me Long Island D and the Prince of Wales, hailing from North Dutchenshireton Fieldham, I think, Liam. Today we're going to be talking about Dark Age one more time, that marathon video, Sony sells some stuff, and a rumor or two. So let's not linger and get into what we've been playing this week. Guys, how you doing?
All right.
Yeah.
Living a dream every day.
I think we're going to start with David this week because Liam, I want to drill him on what he thinks about Dragon Age. Like put the spotlight on him and, lock him in a room.
I've had the two spectrums right now. I'm playing Call of Duty Zombies, the zombie, and then I'm playing Sims. I don't know why. I'm like
that's an interesting pair up.
It's like I'm killing zombies, and then I'm like I need a fucking break. Let me just go and have my sim have sex with the whole town or something.
That's like Gigolo Simulator.
So yeah. But just this morning I was like, oh, let me get a quick game with my brother-in-law on zombies, and then of course I end up with the two guys that know everything about every Easter egg, and I beat the whole thing with them.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it must have been like a 3-4 hour game. We beat all the bosses. We got all the way to the end.
Cow.
And the only thing we didn't do was bowling. And at the very end, these guys were like, "Do y'all want to go bowling?" And I'm like, "I want to go home." And they're like, "Okay, we'll exfil right after we bowl." I'm like, "Okay."
Wow, that's.
But
great.
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Sweet. And the Sims. What Sims are we at right now? What's the latest one?
We're still on 4. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm actually waiting for in Zoe because I'm gonna start playing that.
Yeah, I want to see that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's even interesting to me. I'm not a big Sims. I played Sims, when it first came out,
right?
Just like everybody did, and not feeding your Sim, locking them in a closet, and seeing how long they last, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Liam, I tried doing. Yeah, I was gonna say I tried doing the rags to riches challenges on Sims where you have nothing and then you try to get $1 million, and I would sleep in people's beds. And they would get the hell out of my house. You can't just take showers. I would go and take showers in their house, and they'd be like, "Get out! You can't take a shower here. Get out of here!"
All right. Do they still talk? I mean, do they say things now, or is it still?
Yeah. Gnerfanoy, the Namanu.
It's still Simish. Yeah, it's still Simish. They always talk that. Yeah. I think that's the charm of it, though, rather than just hearing them talk normally.
Yeah.
Good grief. Well, I think Liam finished the challenge in Zombies as well, right?
I did Terminus. Yes, I just did Terminus before we started recording this with some friends. Finally.
The whole thing?
Yeah. So
nice.
How long did it take?
Maybe 2 hours ish.
Wow.
Because basically,
long game.
The part that we were stuck on the most was the end boss.
Yeah.
We've got there enough times to know what we're doing, but it's always the end boss that always killed us. So we managed it.
Well, there's 3 bosses, right? You summon 3 bosses in the end, right? In the little. Or is this a different map?
No, that's a different map. You did Liberty Falls. This is Terminus.
Right. Okay.
This is much harder than Liberty Falls.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was stressful.
Yeah.
You fight a big kraken.
Like in the water. Oh, that's right, because it's on a pier. Okay, I'm thinking Liberty Falls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we managed to do that because the early sort of rewards end when the season starts. So on the 14th, you get exclusive calling cards and stuff to say you did it early.
Are we getting a new zombie map on the 14th? I don't think so, right?
No, but maybe a month afterwards.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it is this year. So it'll be soon.
We get the replacer as a playable operative. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The guy from the TV commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He replaces you while you play Call of Duty. Have you not seen those? Oh my god!
No, I haven't.
He comes out of. He's obviously like taking over for the Pope, and he's got these 2 squirt bottles with like I guess holy water in it. So he goes by the crowd and he's like, "Bam, bam, 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 you're blessed." And he's like, you know, it's hilarious. Man.
Oh wait, I have seen that guy.
Yeah, he drives
Yes.
like a Dodge Charger.
He's an actor.
It's Peter Stormare. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in John Wick. He's in
Yep.
Constantine. Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's fantastic. He
Hilarious.
does some great voice work too, and
Oh wait,
a
he was
lot
in
of games.
Big Lebowski. He
He was,
Big
yeah.
Lebowski. Give us
Yeah.
the money, Lebowski, or we fuck you up.
Yeah, every role he's been in has been memorable. He was the crazy Russian in Armageddon with Bruce Willis and
I've seen pieces of that movie.
yeah, in the PlayStation. I mean, in the PlayStation. God dang. The other day we were talking, and I said I meant to say borderline, and I listened to it back, and I actually said borderland.
Borderline is
Borderline,
I need a game
borderline.
break. Yeah, it's changing my vernacular. But yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. That guy's just hilarious. But Liam. Now Liam has not heard what I said about Dragon Age Veilguard, so I want to get his impressions on it, without
Tell us, Liam. Tell us.
Just don't
what
even
you've
look at my
seen.
face.
Tell us what you've
yeah, just
seen.
block that. Like,
You thought what?
Right.
right.
No, but
so,
how many hours you got in? I've got 11. I played it a little bit more.
He's
I
got
don't
45
know,
minutes.
Maybe like 15 to 20 hours.
Whoa.
Jesus
Okay. Wow. So I say you probably liked it better than I did, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I like the story. I like where it's going. I like the way it's made in terms of like, I know Inquisition was probably a bit big for people. So they scaled it back in terms of the open world, and I just got like areas,
Yeah.
which I like. So it's not so much bloated, because I spent like 50 hours gardening in Inquisition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not here, which I appreciate. I appreciate that. But I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the companions, except one.
The one. Yeah, nobody likes
Yeah.
this character.
Yeah. Was it Tosh?
Tosh.
Yeah.
Trash. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like her. I don't like her. She makes no sense in her dialogue.
No.
Absolutely makes no sense.
No.
Just because, I don't know, you recruit her because her mum basically says, oh yeah, she'll join if you do this. And she goes, how dare you, mum? How dare you, mother? How dare you say, I am me. I make my own choices. And then she goes, I was going to join anyway.
As a parent, no. No. I can't deal with that. Like, no. You're grounded.
Her ability's cool, but yeah, I don't like her right now. I like the rest though. I do enjoy combat.
Yeah.
And there are some things I don't like. I don't know what it is in the cutscenes. I don't know if I made my character a bit odd, but when it comes to like the dialogue and the animations, it doesn't hit hard what I want to say. And I don't know if that's just a game thing.
It's not
If you want, if you want to be sort of a kind of a prick about it, like really go hard, it doesn't come out the way you want it to. Because, it's like, oh yeah, these elven gods are, out and about and destroying the world, but all the time, like your characters saying all this horrible stuff. It's like, yeah, the world's ending.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's like the comment would be like, "Shut your filthy mouth," and then you hit it, and your character goes, "Hey, don't say that. That's not nice."
Yeah. Like, it's like,
That's not what I wanted to say. No, it's not you. It's designed that way.
So yeah, I kind of don't like that, but I do like the story. The story is good. I like the choice because there's a choice early in game where you have to go save this town or this town, and you're like, no, so I'll go this town, and the outcome's probably the same for both playthroughs. You know, oh, this town got
Maybe.
destroyed, or this town got destroyed.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, but I might play through again to see what that does. But when you actually go back to the town that was destroyed, that actually hit. That was impactful. I was like, oh shit. I let all these people down, and there's blood everywhere. Oops. So yeah, that was actually good. I give kudos to that, because I actually felt the impact of a decision. I'm like, damn, this place got wasted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely play through it. Definitely go through the story and how long I've got in terms of like where the story is going.
I think that so far for most people, if you just do the main story, it's about 80 to 90 hours.
I've got a fair bit then
Yeah,
to do.
so if you do like every little bitty thing, it's going to be longer. But yeah, man, keep at it.
Yeah.
Now, there's no multiplayer. It's all single
No,
player.
it's single player.
Now, did you play the multiplayer Inquisition back in the day?
I don't remember I did, to be
Oh,
honest.
okay. Because when we were talking about it the other day, I was saying that, oh, wait a minute. I looked up the cover, and I was like, wait a minute. I actually played the multiplayer of this game. And I barely ever played the single-player story, but I really liked the multiplayer. So I'm assuming the combat is the same from the last game, or is it, like, better?
No, it's different.
It is different, yeah. It's different. I like the combat sometimes. I wish it was a bit more Inquisition, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I went back and played a little bit of Inquisition in it, and it's the combat. It still holds up, but it's a little bit more. It's more tactical. Like you have to manage your other party members, because they can die, they can go down. Whereas in Veilguard, they're just bulletproof. They don't really do anything. They're just there as extra.
I haven't seen that
powers.
I haven't seen that in Veilguard to see if anything happens to my companions. But
They don't go down at all. But
I like the idea. It's still tactical in some areas. I like games built, because what is it, like a it's like a Metroidvania? Is that the right term? Where this place is
like
locked.
hub based.
Come back later.
Yeah.
And then you can unlock this. I kind of like that. That layout in games, because it makes you explore, makes you see what you can upgrade, and it's a good way to keep going back. But there's some instances I don't get in an RPG like this, because you get introduced to a character, and this character will say, "Oh, I can unlock these doors."
Okay.
Then they stand around, and you still have to tell them to do it. It's like, dude, just go there. Why do I have to tell you? You just said you did.
Yeah.
I can do that, and then goes and takes a nap. Yeah.
Use this ability, but like in that moment, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just show me.
Even
just show me.
even
Why
in
do I have to tell
Inquisition
you to do something?
Yeah, even in Inquisition, it was like, hey, I can take care of that for you, but you would have to go to that character and then do it with that character, like as that character.
Yeah.
So it kind of made sense that they would mention it, but I felt like that too. It's like, well, then it's just picking a lock. I don't just do it. Yeah, just go do it.
Yeah.
Like, let me get out of your way so you can do it. And every time, that's how my brain works. It's like, hey, I can pick that lock. I'm like, okay. Oh, I got to go. I actually got to take control of you, 'cause that doesn't make any sense.
It's like you take out a boss, and then he's just behind there, just sitting there, and he's like, I could do that.
I could take that. Yeah, I could one hit that boss.
I could have killed that boss. I could've
Right.
did
Yeah.
I had this.
What are you sitting around for? You're
I
not
had
doing
this-
shit.
I had this kill boss scroll I've been sitting on, but whatever.
Didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Today.
Let's sit this one out. You're doing
I
great.
think Inquisition is very important for this game. I don't know about the other games, because I actually never played the other games, so I still want to go back and play them. But I think Inquisition is very much necessary to get all through this game.
No,
because it's
not at all. Zero.
I think so. I mean, at least the events. I know the actual Inquisitor doesn't do much, but you have to know like where the story is. I think personally. I mean, you don't have to. But
Well, you don't know. It would benefit
I would definitely
you, yeah.
recommend it.
It would give you context, but
Yeah, it would give you a lot of context for it.
it would be ideally you would have played Inquisition and not known anything about Veilguard and played Inquisition first, but not playing Inquisition, I don't really think you have to. although it's
No.
objectively a much better game. But as far as the story-wise, honestly, you could just watch a YouTube video and get caught up on it.
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah.
But no, I'm enjoying it, and I'll see how it goes. I'm not looking forward to some quests because I heard the infamous quests and infamous lines. So I'll see how that goes.
I don't think you have to do those, though, right?
There are some quests that are just side companion pieces.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're just companion quests. So.
I'm just trying to get the romance. I'm like, where's the romance? Where is it? Come on, come on. Have I got it yet? Have I got it yet? I'm flirting. Where's the good stuff?
I don't know. Is there any? I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are some, which is really funny because obviously you get like quite steamy scenes sometimes.
See, that just doesn't
in these BioWare games.
Yeah, but with that game, that the aesthetics and the dialogue and everything just seems so
Childish.
Well, I just want to say like not preteen, but like early 20s.
Yeah, the tone doesn't. Yeah, the tone doesn't really sort of go dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an option, accessibility options.
Okay.
Where it says, in the nude scenes, put clothes on the characters.
Okay.
Is there a 10-year-old? Is there a 10-year-old playing? Oh, quick! My mom's coming in. Turn it on. Turn it on.
I had a computer virus, and when I got up, my pants were down.
It's like,
Mom, I'm telling
you play
the
that
truth.
game, right? You play that game for 100 hours and nobody bothers you at all. That one scene comes up and like your mom like walks through the door. Hey, what are you
I
playing?
made some cookies. Oh my god!
Yeah, anybody that's played like Witcher 3,
Yeah,
it's like anytime anytime that part would come up, like 5 people would show up. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Your wife would walk in and be like, "What
Right.
the fuck are you doing?
Like, is that a game? Like, yes.
Is that lotion?"
Is that a
Why are the tissues all around you?
That's a unicorn. Anyway. But I didn't get to that point. I didn't play long enough to get to intermingle that way with any of the characters.
No, I haven't. Yeah, that's sort of it's a progression through the game. So basically, you start flirting with people, and chatting to people, and like towards end game is where you can sort of have those scenes. Like, oh, the world's gonna end. Let's bang.
Well, I said this in mine, and I'm not gonna tell you what I thought, but I will say that I think that if you don't play a lot of RPGs, or if you haven't played an RPG, this may be not a bad one to introduce you to how RPGs work. But by saying that, if you do enjoy this game, I highly recommend going and playing the other games, especially the first one. The first one is probably one of the best RPGs. It's on a list. It's on like top 5 of the best RPGs
Origins?
ever. Origins, yeah. I recently downloaded it on Xbox. It's still very playable. It's still very good. The story, it just grabs you. Like within 5 minutes, you're like swept away into the lore and the story without any context. It's all brand new. It's all everything. So when you get done with this one, I highly recommend checking out the other ones. I think you'll really enjoy them.
I did like some of the dialogue in this one. Some of it's like, some of it's good. I do like having banter with my companions. Like one of your characters has a power, but she doesn't know how to use the power. She doesn't know how it activates, so you have to sort of help her practice. And it's like, why don't you just make a sound? And she does, nothing happens. You're like, ha ha, I embarrassed you. And then in some puzzles though, you find this owl statue, and you have to do this puzzle. And the puzzle is you have to make a sound of an owl. So your character is just wandering around these statues going, hoo 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 hoo.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a little silly.
It's so random. It's like, is this supposed to be like dark, end of the world stuff?
No.
Like, it's not. So it does miss that sort of tone. But when they want to use that tone, it does work. It's just like when you're exploring, it doesn't feel like anything's really ending. like a big apocalypse is coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that either. There was a lot of things that were like, to me, were not pressing. Like, maybe we should be doing that saving the world thing. That list we got, that little check trying to save the world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you go later in the story, you do find stuff, and it tells a lot of the backstory of the characters and what's happening, what happened before. So guys get insight. I have no idea how this game ends or what happens. So depending on how the story goes, I might really like it by if they sort of tie everything up at the end.
Okay. Cool. That's good. I mean, I'm glad you're liking it. Let us know. If you complete the story, then let us know. But if you do like it, again, I recommend the other games. The combat is not quite as fun, but the role playing is much better. So
yeah,
you got kind of that thing. Cool. So I've been playing a game. I got a game last night actually called Mirthwood. Have you guys seen that? It just came out on Steam.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, there was a trailer for it. I want to say on one of the showcases we.
Oh, wait
we
a
watched.
minute! Like whenever I'm scrolling on Facebook, this ad comes up, Mirthwood, like all the time.
Yeah, it looks like a storybook, but it's actually a survival game, like a medieval survival game. Yeah.
But it's like a 2D side scroller, or is it like 3D?
It's not. It's 2D, but it's not a side scroller. It's like open world. Like you can go in any direction and you move around like almost like an isometric game, but everything's 2-dimensional.
Like a dungeon crawler or something.
Kinda, but it's more of like you inherit a house or farm and have to kind of rebuild it. But you also go into town and make friends, and you can steal their shit and schmooze people, and so it's meant to be like kind of like a medieval simulator in a way. I haven't played a lot of it, but so far I like it, and the art style is really nice. The music is really good, but I can't stop dying of hunger. And then I did for comparison, I downloaded Dragon Age Origins and created a character and started playing that, and I'm hooked again. Holy shit, I am totally hooked on that game, and I can't get it to play on PC. I did play it previously on my PC, and then I downloaded it recently, and I cannot get it to play. I'm pretty sure EA is involved in making sure
was it throwing up errors or something?
No, it won't start. And there's like, if you go and Google it, it's something that it's the same problem that goes back like 5 years. So I have it on Xbox. I just played on S, and anyway. But
I imagine there's an office in EA where a red light goes on.
Like somebody's trying to play that on PC.
Code red. We have somebody trying to play Dragon Age Origins. Block
Turn
them.
And they're like, what? Why is this not clicking? What's going on? It just started a second ago. But yeah, everybody seems to be mad. One guy on Reddit, he was just like, it was like, 65 down. One guy was just like, fuck it. He just like gave up. He's just like, I am completely done. Just forget it. Yeah. So that's kind of where I hit on that.
I do like an Xbox though. The older Dragon Age games all got FPS boost as well. Yeah. So that's a nice touch.
Yeah, it does. It is in 60 FPS. Now, when I did order a new PC. My wife is getting this one, so she's going to be one of us soon. And I'll try to get on that. Maybe maybe she saw the crap I loaded on this thing. But yeah, she's going to be streaming.
Delete browser history.
Right.
Make sure you delete the browser history.
All of them. Really, just.
It's all Witcher 3.
Right.
Delete mods.
Like,
delete Witcher 3
where's
mods.
My hard drive. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so she's going to be streaming and playing Valheim on PC. I'm so excited.
Whoa.
She's going to love it. She's going to just absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and then also got this new microphone. Check out this microphone. Now, it looks like I don't know what they were. This looks like an ashtray you would find on like a 1964 airline. But if you pick this up,
Oh,
wow, it is
Nice.
It is super heavy. It looks like something like if Darth Vader had a microphone, like this is what he would use.
Yeah. Where's my
Well-
microphone?
Well, technically, he does have a microphone. If
Yeah.
if Darth Vader did a podcast, he would use this microphone.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of hooked on Dragon Age again, and again another old
Nice.
game. Imagine that. And
Yeah.
so that's pretty much it for that. Now I did go back, and my feed is just riddled with Veilguard, and it's split. You've got people that love it, people that hate it, and all this kind of stuff. So I decided to kind of do a little research, and because of the political ideology and everything on it, I found 2 reviews by 2 trans people for Dragon Age
Dragon Age.
Veilguard. And I'll put the links below because they're really good. One of them is a very intricate review of the game itself in the eyes of a trans person. The other one is a total rant of please stop fucking doing this. It's making us all look bad. So it's just like your inclusion is making people not like us. So please fucking stop, and just rips them a complete new one. But I thought it was just an interesting point of view to see that from these 2 people. Both are really good reviews, and I'll put the links below so you guys can watch them. The first one from Sophia is an actual review of the game, but does point out those things that they don't like. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see that point of view. And also
That's great.
Yeah, isn't it? I thought that it's like how do people really feel about this? Like I have black friends, and they don't understand why they keep giving characters in games the same damn haircut. Like why? Nobody they know has that haircut. What what I'm talking about? Like the dude that's got the dreads that are just coming out the top.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like, what
yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck is that? Like nobody has. I don't know anybody with that haircut.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like
I tell you what about Veilguard. What I noticed, and this is not something I notice a lot, but I kind of gave my character sort of a long hairstyle because the hair.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
The physics. I was sort of like, that looks really cool because you're just hairs blowing everywhere.
The cloth and hair, physics or whatever, are amazing in that game. And I was telling Liam earlier, we were talking about Death Stranding hitting on Xbox, and I was like, we should do a whole show on nothing but game engines. Like, just some of these game engines are absolutely, amazing. And I was saying last week, like the Call of Duty engine, shit. Everybody's like, oh, the Xbox Series S is just bringing everybody down. Here's Call of Duty, bam, 60 frames per second, looks great on everything. 60 on the campaign, multiplayers, zombies, all 60 FPS, and it looks good. So shut the fuck up. It's some of these guys really. Some of these studios know what they're doing with this tech. Some maybe not so much.
They definitely do. And it's all a question about optimizing as well.
Yeah.
Because if you optimize well, it will play on anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Developers know how to work on like low spec PC to the highest one.
Yeah. Why don't they make the next Halo game with the Call of Duty engine? I mean. Like holy shit.
I think Unreal is definitely going to be a good one. Although, with certain rumors and projects, but you never know.
There is a rumor that Sledgehammer Games from Call of Duty is working on a Halo game. Now, and that brings up the question: if that's true, which I hope so, and I hope it's an ODST type game. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool,
like boots on the ground. You're not a Spartan. You're just a soldier, and But how likely is it that they're using the Call of Duty engine for that?
That could be very likely.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That actually makes me a little excited. So.
Yeah. Because if you take like the studios that make the games, it's like Indiana Jones with Machine Games.
Yeah.
They're using that engine.
id Tech.
id Tech. The one that does Doom and they're using
Yeah.
it for Indiana Jones because it's machine games. They know
Absolutely.
the engine. So if Sledgehammer does a game, why not in their own engine? They know it.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would they use Unreal Engine 5 when they've been using Call of Duty for the last 10
Yeah.
years?
Yeah.
I don't know what they call the Call of Duty engine. Did you know that the Call of Duty engine originally was on Quake 3 engine?
I think basically they just call it like the IW engine or something. I don't
Is
know.
it?
I might be mistaken on that,
COD
but I know.
engine. God.
Yeah, I think it's like been since Modern Warfare 2. They've used like they just combined like into one
Yeah.
engine.
Well, that was the one they got sued on because id Software was like, "Hey, you're still using our code." They're like, "Oh, here's some money." Sorry.
So yeah, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, they all use the same engine now.
Yeah. Well, cool. Okay, so I don't know if you could sit through the video, but I did put it on our Discord, which was the marathon video with the new. Oh my God, I didn't put his name up here. I can never remember this guy's name. Liam, please help me out.
I can't remember
Just
either.
a second. He's taken over for Chris
Joe
Barrett.
Ziegler.
Thank you. Yeah. So there's another video that you probably missed, and I'll tell you what it is in a second. But did you guys watch this video? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen Bungie do. Like,
Is that the video you showed me before? Or something like
Yeah.
that?
I put it in
I
the
watched
Discord.
Like half of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I watched like half of it, and he says there's no gameplay.
nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't. They showed like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shot of a artwork for a character,
Right.
And he was basically just. This is like the lowest effort shit I've ever seen them
Yeah.
do. Like, they're not even trying anymore, man. This is like the
Yeah.
studio that invented the vid doc. And he's just like he got keys, like the security guard fell asleep and he got the keys to the AV room. And he went in there and, you know what I mean? It's like, just turned everything on. It's like, hey man, check it out. I'm talking about I don't know, marathon. This did not help me get excited for this game at all.
I don't think anyone is, and that's a problem.
It seems like they are so downplaying it. I mean, this is, you know.
I stopped halfway through, and I went.
I don't
and
blame
searched,
you.
I searched marathon, like actually to look at something because I was like,
Yeah.
this is nothing. Like I haven't seen anything. So like, what are you telling me?
Maybe like under promise, and it might be pleasantly surprised when it's out, but it's not giving confidence at all.
No.
It just isn't.
No. There's not even
mean,
leaked footage.
I mean, either he's really excited and he can't wait to say something about the game, or somebody higher than him is like, you got to build some buzz for this game because, and he's like, I'm just working on it still, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
you gotta get on camera and say something, But
Yeah, I think it was maybe. I'm thinking it was maybe Sony probably came in there one day and were like, "You go over there, talk
You.
on camera now." He's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, sure."
But even
really
if you
weird.
don't even if you don't show gameplay, I don't feel anything exciting from him at all. Like
No.
I don't know how like studios manage like videos, but a lot of studio updates that I see, some of them like go behind the scenes of the studio, show people working.
Yeah.
You can see like
Yeah.
all the computers on there, and I mean, that's all concept art. They're still working on it. Why not show
Right.
that? Why not show all of them? And like, hey, we're really excited. This guy's just like, oh yeah, we're excited for Marathon going out, and here's a picture.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the studio that, like, when Halo 2 came out, they had a whole vid doc that you got with the special edition that followed the production of the game and showed what they did on their day off and showed how they made the sounds for the game. I mean, it was a huge thing. It was like you would invite your friends over, like, come over and watch this. After we beat the game, we're gonna watch this. And this was, good grief, man. That's embarrassing. I mean, I was embarrassed.
Like, if that didn't come out, no one would be any the wiser. To be
Yeah.
quite honest, like, why did that come
what
out?
did you add to the any dialogue
Can you like
to this thing?
can you show gameplay like 3 months from release or something? Like, show it when it's ready.
I think I was gonna say that I think the other thing that kind of like blew me away was not blew me away, but just he said this is a extraction shooter.
Right.
And then he goes, for those of you who don't know what an extraction shooter is, and I'm like, who do you think's watching this video? Moms?
yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
this is like gamers are watching your video
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like we know what a fucking extraction shooter is. Like,
That's why we're here.
are you here explaining an extraction shooter now? Like, what are you doing?
I don't
like,
know, man. I don't know. I was just like, I had to keep looking at it to go, is this from Bungie, or is this like
Yeah.
somebody making
Yeah.
fun of Bungie in their own weird way? No, it's actually from their marathon. Yeah, I don't have any excitement for this game at all. I was at a 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm at a 0.
I immediately went to, they have an announcement trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show any. It still doesn't show any gameplay. It shows like images, sort of.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll say this: I think the concept art looks cool.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
colorful.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but I don't know anything about the game, so I
Yeah,
can't
I
really
mean, we don't even
say
know what the
anything,
game,
so-
like what it looks like. Like what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
What does a
Yeah.
field of view look like in this game?
Right? Is it third person? Is it first person? Is it?
I
know, like-
think it's first person. It's
Yeah.
that first video that they made, of course, was amazing. But it
Yeah.
really just showed a robot getting shot.
Right.
Like, okay, they got shot and dropped their loot. Moving
Yeah.
on. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Now let me ask you this: your opinions.
Mhm.
Is Call of Duty Zombies Extraction?
No,
I mean,
because
if-
you don't
would-
keep
would
what you take out, do you?
No.
Then
Would
no,
that? So that would be
It
keeping your
had.
stuff would be
that would just
considered-
be exiting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's exiting you. Yeah, that's a good
It's
way
an
to put
exiter.
it. Yeah.
So-
It's an exeter shooter.
Because the way he made it sound like, it almost sounded like, because he was saying, you could get attacked from other players and you
Right.
can lose your shit. So is it something like, you remember that game Hunt Showdown? I think it's called Hunt Showdown.
Yeah,
Like,
or the Division, because Division does that.
where you're like, like it's sort of PvP but open
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
and-
because it's like PvP.
the dark zone. You're talking about the dark zone.
Yeah, Dark Zone. They had the Dark Zone where you had players and.
Yeah, that
Climb
was the
Extractor.
first extraction, really.
Yeah.
right.
So yeah. I mean, I don't know why that was even like. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I don't know what's
Well, I
going
kinda-
on.
The only reason why I say that is because I feel like there's this effort to like make it very battle royale-esque because that's
Yeah.
what sells because
Right.
of like Fortnite and all that stuff. But then they say, oh, but we need to have this element that like because I remember Call of Duty did an extraction type game like that PvP. Oh, but we got to take something from that, and next thing you know, it's like this marriage of two things, and I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah, I don't know what. Nobody knows what the hook is. What's
Right.
what's
Yeah,
different?
yeah.
What's different? What's separating this from, any other extraction?
Yeah. I guess just the look of it, like the
I guess. I mean,
colors, man.
I mean, it's. I don't know.
I tell you what, though, Sony can't afford another Concord.
No, they
They
can't.
can't afford another failure. They
No.
need a game to
And
work.
this is not a.
and this
This is not a $200 million venture. This is how much did they pay? $3 billion for Bungie.
for
Bungie. Yeah.
Yeah, and
so if-
on the banking that Marathon is going to be, the next Star Wars or whatever. So, oh man,
So, if they're showing this developer update, which I don't know why, is Marathon close?
no.
Will we see it soon?
No, he
Like-
says
like-
at the end that they're going to have a play test at next year. I didn't say open. I don't think he said it was closed. I think he said a new play test. So it's probably going to be closed. Then they'll later do an open one. Then they'll do another open one, and then they'll reveal it, and then they'll do a beta, and then it'll be 2026 by then.
Yeah.
So this thing is still early in. Now, Chris Barrett left in not in a good way. He was not part of the layoffs. He was like, apparently an HR freaking nightmare. So they had to get rid of him. So it wasn't a shifting, it wasn't, it was a, he left abruptly and they brought him in. So I'm sure that when he came in, he kind of picked it up and probably had to make some changes on the fly and, revamp some things. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I also saw another video. You probably missed it. Everybody did. And I kind of wish I hadn't seen it. But it was this very, very well done. Like the opposite of this video. It was very, very well done vid doc about on State of Decay. But it wasn't. It was by Undead Labs. And the whole 10-minute video was how they partnered with a company called 51 Eggs and revamped their logo. and I just watched this thing like I'm like, I don't give a flippin' shit why you picked this thing for your what it was. I don't like what a pretentious waste of my time, like, to have this thing and not show any gameplay, no update on the game, nothing at all. And these guys have really been great supporting State of Decay 2. Nothing on State of Decay 3 at all. Just the whole thing was about changing their logo. What the fuck, man? What is going on with these studios? Like, what do they?
At least we have some State of Decay 3 footage.
Sort of.
Some
I mean, it's a video. It's like, it's one of those, ooh, is that gameplay? Or, oh, maybe that's gameplay.
Yeah, I think there was some gameplay in there, but at least we have a good look at it. I have no clue about Marathon. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know it's got colors in it and guns.
Yeah. It goes pew pew and
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, Liam, you brought some stories up. You wanted to throw out some numbers, I think, from Sony. Speaking of which, might make everybody that plays on Sony feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So Sony have sold, well, or shipped out even. I don't know who sold. They said 65 million PS5s. So that's good for Sony. Yep, that's a lot. And the Pro just released, so some people are getting them, I guess. Yeah. So, they're doing good numbers in console sales. And they also had Astrobot released, which got a lot of praise when it released.
Yeah, I think it's it's nominated for Game of the Year, right?
Yeah, it's got a lot of praise. So you think it would sell a lot. It sold 1.5 million copies so far.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the scale of the game, fine.
I mean,
because it's a smaller game, and obviously it's probably made its money.
Probably.
My question is, if there's 65 million PS5s, and everyone on PS5 is always like, oh, my exclusives. All the media is like, Sony exclusives are the best. Sony. Mm-hmm. Why are 2% of people buying them?
Well, you can't use this one as the same reference, right? Because this is a, I mean, it's a Mario game.
But Mario, for Nintendo, Mario is like...
Yeah, but wait though, on Nintendo, Mario is like God of War. On Nintendo, Mario is like Horizon. Mm-hmm. On Sony, it's a hard sell.
But even like Astro's Playroom is on every PS5. The free version. It's a free little thing they do on PS5.
That's a really cool game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you think more people would be interested in Astro?
Yeah. I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's a way better game than Concord.
Yeah. But so, I think what we're seeing now in the industry, and I think it's going to happen more and more, and all the fanboys are going to get really pissed off. But Sony will have to bring more games to Xbox, more games to PC, more games to Switch, because they have some sales, but I think there's more audience elsewhere.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And it shows how well did Sea of Thieves do on PlayStation 5?
I I know. So I know Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is a 7-year-old game. It got 1 million sales on PS5 at least.
Yeah, so that's you didn't have to develop that game. It was already there. You just ported it over. So why doesn't Sony do the same thing and take something that, came out several years ago, like Horizon, and put it on Xbox?
So this is why Sony are going to PC and they're putting Horizon on Switch, Adventures, Lego. And I think that's a more Lego decision, but
I think they had a special deal with Lego on that one. So
they just put Kojima with Death Stranding, and Death Stranding magically appeared on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to shift more of these games to other platforms because consoles don't make the money. They make very little money. Yeah. They make very little money themselves. Maybe Sony has a bit of a leeway with PS5, but it's their software, and if they're selling, 2 million copies for a little game, and then they need a 400 million top dollar budget, blockbuster that might sell 5 to 10 million copies, and then you have Concord. I don't think they can manage the exclusives anymore. I think it's going to burn a hole in their pocket. Concord definitely did.
I totally agree with you. I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, they have said recently that they are going to have one major single-player game every year now moving forward, which is great. But again, if you're spending $400 million on this game, how many copies do you have to sell? To make money on it? That's not sustainable, especially when we're not seeing a decrease in game sales or console sales, annually, but we're not seeing an increase either, which means that new people, the little ones coming into the world, don't give two shits about console. Some of them don't even care about games. They either play Fortnite on their phone or they do something else. So Sony's got to see that. They've got to see that flatline. Microsoft has. That's why we're seeing, Xbox on everything. Your phone, your TV, your anything with a screen, they want to put an Xbox on it. So Sony's got to see that. They've got to see that it's not sustainable, and they're going to have to either figure out how to make these games cheaper or put them on other platforms day one. They still haven't figured it out. They're still doing this stupid, hey, we'll put this game out and then maybe on PC in a year or two. Yeah, look how well that's doing. No, the hype is completely gone by that time. There is no marketing. There's no anything. And they don't market on PC. They just oh, by the way, Horizon, whatever, comes out on PC next week. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah. And then they go, why are we not selling this? It's just brainless bullshit that these companies are doing. That just I don't understand. It's so obvious to everyone. It's so obvious. but they seem to just miss it.
Also the thing is, because Astro is Game of the Year nomination, and I probably will get one. Why isn't it selling more then? All the hype.
Because that doesn't make it a seller, though. I mean, look at Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
It's oh my God, space crazy, everything's It sold what, 1 million?
Yeah. And I've got games have trouble selling sometimes, but the hype behind Sony right now, when it comes to Sony was so good with exclusives, I think is dying out. And Sony are still stuck in their PS4 generation. They're still stuck on those old games, on those franchises. Even when they're trying to hype stuff like Astro, it doesn't really sell gangbusters.
Well, I mean, if you look at Astro, that's not something that they know that's not going to sell. They know this. There's a couple of things. One, it's not multiplayer. Two, it's not a live service. And three, you can't monetize it outside of that initial price tag. Unless you sell Astrobot skins. What's that, David?
Yeah, I mean, they could do.
No, I was just gonna say that I think this is more of an understanding of what is Sony's target demographic, because like if you look at like their top selling games, it's not games like Astrobot. It's God of War. It's The Last of Us. Like people buy Nintendo for Mario and Pokemon, and games like that. You know, they buy a PlayStation because they want to play Spider-Man or they want to play Horizon. You know, I mean, I have a list of Sony's top selling games, and like Ratchet and Clank is like probably the only one on there that's like sold a lot. But really, top of the list: Last of Us, God of War, Gran Turismo, Uncharted. You know, these are nothing like you know. If anything, Sony needs to come out with Astrobot, and then they need to come out with another game that's like the stuff that they normally come out with.
Yeah,
you know,
or because they remaster Last of Us 4 times.
They've cornered themselves into being that console. Like, you know, you've got that demographic, like David said, you know, you've got a demographic buying these consoles. Those guys don't want to play Astrobot. You know, that's people that want to play that already have a Switch. That's what they're playing on. Because
even though Astrobot's a great game.
It is.
Astrobot's a great game.
Yeah, I think Astrobot, like as a platform, probably would have done better on PS2. That kind of era.
Well, sure.
You know,
I mean,
you had the rise of Jack, Spyro, Crash, and we were so into like platformers at the time.
Right. You. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. So you go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was like knocked it out of you.
Yeah.
What's the one on Xbox? Everybody. Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, people want Banjo all the time.
Yeah.
They're not making it. Why?
Yeah.
You're looking at it. 1.5 million sales. They know it's not going to sell. Everybody. I want a new game. No, you don't. You're 48 now, and you got a mortgage, and you're going to look at that game, and you're going to play it for 5 minutes and go, yeah, no, I'm going to go play Call of Duty. I mean, they know that. Sony, you know, still, I mean, putting out games like this is not a bad thing. It's making them money, but it's on the wrong console.
Yeah.
You know, now if Xbox partnered with Nintendo and made a Banjo-Kazooie and published it on Nintendo, holy shit, it would probably fly off the charts.
Yeah.
Because that's your demographic.
Yeah.
But
But you know, apart from like Spider-Man, obviously Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
What does Sony have? Like PS4, the PS5 gen, even Xbox gen.
Spyro the Dragon.
This generation just. So they've got God of War, so Last of Us, Uncharted, and Horizon, and I can't think what else. So I guess single player games from next year, but if they had more platformers, if they had more audience, you know.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I will say, like, to your point, I don't think it makes good business sense for them to continue this idea of first, you know, this exclusivity kind of thing. Because personally, I feel like Sony created this condition where Xbox was like, okay, you're not going to bring games here to our system, and you're kind of like taking the studio and making them create these titles that are only for your system. Well, we're just gonna fucking buy the studios, and then Microsoft just started buying fucking studios. I mean, you know, now we own the studios. Now what are you gonna do? You know, and it's Sony's because they don't want to play fair. They're creating this atmosphere that, I mean, Microsoft they're like unlimited money. Like, listen,
absolutely,
we're gonna fucking outspend you guys, just like plain and simple.
Yeah.
So either you play fair, or we're gonna start buying studios, and then they started buying studios, and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's a monopoly. You can't really do that." And nobody said anything about Sony. Nobody was like, "Yo, Sony's not playing fair here. They're creating this condition where they can't, you know, put games on other platforms." So I don't think it makes good business sense in the long run.
No.
To have this exclusivity.
And and that's what I mean. I think we're reaching a point in the industry where exclusivity it doesn't matter anymore. Like it's hurting developers more now than for Sony's benefit or for Microsoft's benefit.
Look at Square Enix and Capcom.
Yeah.
They're both like, oh shit, that was a huge mistake. putting that only on Sony. Like, what were we thinking? We could have, we could have gotten at least, 5 million more sales at least on, Xbox, but we didn't do it. And yeah, I mean, they're seeing that that's the exclusivity. It's probably appealing for studios because you get that upfront money to not put it on the other. But like you said, in the long run, it doesn't help them because once you sell that 10 million, it doesn't have a lasting appeal. It's exclusive, and that's all you're going to get. People that buy it are just going to buy it, and that's it. You're not going to get anything else. But once it's non-exclusive and multi-plat, then you can open it up to different markets and different people. And I know this. They probably don't know this, but we know this. If you buy like a once exclusive game on your platform of a series and you love it, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy the rest of the games.
Yeah.
So then now you've got a fan of, like, say, Final Fantasy. If those games are available on the platform that you play on, then guess what? You're going to spend more money.
Yeah.
That's just common business sense. If you hold those over on your platform and say, screw you, you're going to have to buy our console, you're going to get people just not playing the game. And I think as time goes on, people are not as happy with exclusives as they used to be. Not the Twitter crowd, but people that actually spend hard-earned money on consoles and feel like they get chipped on these titles.
I don't think people really care about exclusives anymore. I don't think, apart from Twitter, whatever. But people in general just don't care. They want to play the games where they want to play, and Microsoft sees that. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Because
people don't just have like one console, one system anymore either. They've got their phones, their tablets, their TVs. So they're just putting themselves everywhere. They're like, we will go to you. You don't have to come to us.
Right.
That's what they're doing. So they'll make their games available everywhere. I think that is the industry going forward. Sony have to catch up. I think it's not going to affect them now, but long term, it wouldn't go well for them.
They're in a little bit of trouble, I would say.
Yeah. But I think that there's something that Microsoft probably understood a long time ago, which was if you don't make any exclusives, if games can go on any platform, it forces the person making the system to say, okay, what are we going to do about making this system interesting? If anybody could buy any game on any platform, what's interesting? I'll tell you, a lot of people, including myself, bought the Xbox because we really liked the Xbox controller. It just felt a lot better. And look at how many times Sony changed their PlayStation controller. They changed it every single time, and Xbox sort of had the same, like, once they came out with that huge controller, and then they sort of
better version.
They sort of scaled it down. They scaled it down. Now it's just amazing. So that's like something that, like, and anytime I try to play a game on PC, I'm always grabbing my Xbox controller to try to play the game on my PC with my Xbox controller. And I know some people really like the PlayStation controller, but I'm just saying that's something. It's a reason why people buy that system. And if you only have exclusives, then really it doesn't even matter what's on people are going to buy it for the exclusives. Whereas Microsoft back in the day, they started coming out with, you can watch Netflix on it. They had that TV option.
TV.
Right. But I think that, like, Microsoft was saying something. Microsoft was saying, like, listen, eventually we're not going to have exclusives. Nobody's going to have exclusives. So what's going to make people want to buy an Xbox?
Yeah.
So, I think that's good. I mean, that leads to innovation.
Well, it lets the consoles innovate in newer ways. And much like if you look at Xbox Quick Resume, I mean, holy shit. Why don't we not talk about that? Like, that is the best thing ever. You got like 4 games that you just go back and play, and they're just there. You can unplug it, ship it to a friend, and go, hey, plug it in and pick up where I left off. I mean, that is
I think the reason
incredible.
why we don't talk about that is because of the state of gaming. And a lot of games are always online, service games, always has an online component of some
sort. You can't do all of them, right.
But I tell you what, though, I'm enjoying Dragon Age with Quick Resume because I'll just go off, go back in. It's right there.
Yeah, and as a PC player, playing on console for so long, that is the one thing I do miss. I miss having that, like right now, Dragon Age Origin on my Xbox is just sitting there, like right where I left off, and I just go back to it and click, and then there you go.
It's like minimizing it on PC,
right?
But
those kind of things, Microsoft not having that console market, not having not being the console leader, makes them innovate those things.
Yeah,
right.
And when Sony gets too big, they stop doing that, and we see stuff like the what's the handheld thing? God, I just forgot.
The Portal.
Portal, yeah. And we start seeing the Pro, which is a very marginal upgrade apparently now that it's out for $700. We start seeing that, and those are just like, to me, it's just like put this together, make it look good, people will buy it. And they're right. People will just eat it up because it looks just like their PS5. But that doesn't last forever. When you get even the hardcore Sony people at some point will go, I'm not getting anything for my money. Look what that does, and look what that does for the same amount of money. Feature-wise, Xbox has PlayStation under its foot. I mean,
it does. It does definitely. And also the way that Microsoft sort of make their Xbox available everywhere again.
Well, sure.
Like Death Stranding that just appeared on Xbox, right? Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's also Play Anywhere. So now I have a copy on my PC and my Xbox for like a deep sale.
Yeah, you buy it once and you have it on both. Right.
Yeah, I know it's an old game, but Play Anywhere, it's a lot for Microsoft games. And some other ones too that you might be surprised about. But buy once and get two. Yeah,
Sony's Sony won't do that. They want you to buy it separately. They want as much money as they possibly can get out of it.
Sony are like, buy one, get a remaster and pay more. Huh?
And the longer I'm on PC, the more Sony, just PlayStation in general, just looks like a total scam. Like, I'm surprised you don't turn it on and it's like, hi, I'm a prince from this other country, and if you send me this money, I can get free. And I don't know. Maybe that reference is a little too old, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I got that reference. I always had that prince emailing me.
Yeah.
But I think games have to just appeal to to everyone on more devices, because we are in a multi-device world now. So.
Absolutely, and a lot of people that are they're not brought up on consoles. I remember my son was probably about 19, and I got a PlayStation 4, and I was like, "You want to check it out?" Set up your room, plug it up your TV, and play whatever. And he's like, looked at it for a little bit, and he goes, "No, it's okay." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's like the latest console." And he looked at the controller and goes, "Dad, I've played with an Xbox controller my whole life." And I'm like, "Holy shit, am I old?" But it made me. It's like, oh, I get it. It's like you don't really. It's like I don't want to adopt a whole new way of playing a game.
Yeah.
There's nothing on there that it's got to have something that I really, really want to play. So that made sense to me. And like you said, the controller, like if you were used to that controller and you pick up a PlayStation controller, it does not feel good.
No,
it doesn't.
It takes some time to get used to.
Yeah. Also, now that goes the other way too. If you only play PlayStation, you pick up an Xbox, it may feel like really weird, but So.
But I also heard like today's generation as well. The more we go into like generations getting growing up, a lot of them won't play consoles.
No,
they don't have the same upbringing as we did when consoles were starting out, when PC was starting out, because they're on their tablets, they're on their phones.
Right.
They're more into touch screens than they are into actual physical hardware.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not going to get more demographic. You're not going to get more markets. You have to go to where they are. So that's why we have streaming and cloud and on these tablets and TVs and smart devices now, because the console market won't grow. It won't grow.
Yeah.
Devices are growing, not one box.
We're not going to see consoles for that much longer. I don't think. I think after this next iteration between both of them, I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see that hardware change drastically. I don't know exactly which way it's going to go. If it's going to go away altogether, or if it's just going to change into something that's more suited to handheld, or something of that nature, something more like a phone.
I would like for hardware to stay because
well, sure, but if nobody's
easier.
Buying them,
Yeah.
it's just like physical games. It's like Xbox kill physical. No, it's because nobody's buying physical games. It's not anybody's fault but ours.
But the consoles still sell. Like Nintendo sells, Sony sells, Xbox even sells quite a bit still. So as long as we have that, I mean, if my console, for example, if I'm Xbox and my console only sells 50 million compared to the rest, that's still 50 million.
Well, sure.
So as long as that happens, hardware's going to be here. What's going to happen with the rest of the devices? Who knows?
I think Scotty made a good point when he was saying, his son, has been playing on an Xbox controller his whole life. Like, it kind of reminds me of like, no matter how much you tell people with iPhones that Android's better, they're still going to buy an iPhone.
They're going to buy the iPhone, yeah.
And the same thing with that's the thing with Microsoft. Yeah, that's the thing with Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo.
Linux and Windows. Yep.
Right. People are gonna Facebook and Instagram. Like you have these people that exclusively just use Facebook. They don't really. I don't fuck with Instagram. Oh, I don't Snapchat. You on Snapchat? No, I don't use Snapchat. You know what I mean? Like people are gonna just use what they want to use.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. It might be 50 million people use this. And 50 million people use that, and the corporations like, we want everybody to use this. Like, no, not everybody's going to use this.
No, well, they know that, but that's what you're saying. That 50 million, there's an in between, and that's what they fight over.
Right.
That's what that next purchase, like, hey, the next time you buy a console or next time you buy a phone,
might sway a good million or two.
Right. Consoles are an easier sell, though, because it's like, hey, if you have a PlayStation, hey, why not buy an Xbox? Why not have both? Why not have all three?
Yeah.
And there's people that do that, but it's just, I think
you got more than one pair of pants, right?
Right.
Come on.
Right. I mean, nobody's gonna like buy. I got an Android and iPhone. Which one am I using today?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
But yeah, I think it's just consoles are just going to decline naturally, much like physical games. We're going to see these things. Thank God though that like PC moving into the future, I think will be the saving grace for anybody that keeps screaming about
preservation.
Game preservation just in general. Because any of those games, a lot of the games that I've got on my PC, I own them. If you buy on like GOG.com or whatever, you own those, and as long as they play on a modern system, then you can play them. Not so much on Steam and all the other ones, but then again, you can also download games that aren't available anymore and play them on emulators.
Yeah.
Not that
I think
PC
PC will always have that saving grace. That's why a lot of PC players, stick to it.
We have all the games.
Whatever hardware comes out in the future, PC will emulate it all in the end.
Yeah. And I think Microsoft is kind of banking on that to some extent. It's like, hey, the market is PC is a big. I love to see these people on Twitter like talk about that Sony sold 65 million PS5s. Microsoft sold these. Blah, blah, blah. Like, how many PC users are there? I don't know, like 5 billion. Like what do you're chump change, bro? Like, get lost. So there's a lot of markets that don't have those consoles. They're not able to buy them, but they can play on PC. So that in itself is, it's just not America and UK. There's a lot of other countries that play games that.
That Americans, it's not just you.
Yeah. Right. And
what do you mean?
Right. What? And if you're not from America and listen to this, there's there's the west part of the country is not necessarily indicative of the entire country. So I'm just letting you know about that.
Yes.
They don't speak for everybody, but
But I also think that, like, we live in the world of like IP right now, so it's like no, everybody wants to remake something, everybody wants to redo something, like there's very little like starting from scratch happening. Everybody's sort of like creating, and I think that like having games emulated on your PC is like a great barometer for like the new generation comes in and they start playing older games, and then they start, a game that was once popular becomes repopular again.
Yeah.
Because the new generation is playing it, and it's like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should redo this one, or maybe we should do a part 2. We never went back to it,
Yeah, Killzone. The Sony's
Right.
just sitting on Killzone. Just take those and put them on PC.
Yeah, because actually that's a good point, because of the, like, you talk about the remakes. That's what Konami just said as well about Metal Gear Solid. They said they're doing the remake because the younger generations don't know Metal Gear Solid.
No, they don't.
So they want like new people. They want new audiences.
Yeah.
So they're doing a big remake for it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And they're putting it on PC, aren't they?
Oh, it should be. Yeah, definitely.
I think so. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
they learned their lesson last time. Like, no, we're not gonna do it. So yeah, that's man. Again, some of these companies just seem to be scrambling for no apparent reason, and I just can't believe, man. Sony just they're in trouble. They don't want to admit it. Nobody wants to admit it. None of the news outlets want to say anything, but they are redoing their whole plan.
Yeah.
Of going forward, because they know that this new CEO that's there now is like, this is not working and it's not sustainable. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna see more PlayStation games going to other platforms, maybe very soon.
Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And PC probably.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Death Stranding?
I haven't played it, and I just got it on Xbox, so I'm gonna have to.
I thought about trying it out, actually.
Yeah, because it was cheap and they got a sale on everything. So I
heard you run a lot. It's like DayZ. It's like you're nonstop running.
It's actually a running mechanic. Like you don't just run. You have to actually move the triggers so that you don't like fall over and.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's it's an interesting game. It is a very good looking game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I hear it's like 400 hours long as well, like a long game.
Yeah. I mean, that's because the cutscenes are all like 45 minutes, and that's where it loses me. When you're in a cutscene, it's like, I've got no context. I don't know who these people are, and they're just carrying on a conversation for like 45 minutes. And now I'm talking to Jeff Keighley for some reason in the game. I'm not the biggest fan of his games. I can appreciate the work that goes into those games.
Yeah.
But I'm just not really a fan of that. I think it's a little narcissistic tendencies there in those games. But anyway. So I think that's all we had for this week. It's ended up being a little bit of a short one, but not a lot happened, to be honest. So this week we'll just completely blow up. So we are a day late. We'll be back on our regular schedule next week. And thanks for dropping in and listening to us ramble about games. So catch you later. Bye.
Peace out, guys.